So I believe now it's time to explain a few things, the timeline of events going on in this little universe of reactions, which I dub as the reaction continuity, and its two sage stories. There are a lot of moving parts in this sequence of events that lead to me even making these stories. I get into more details on that a little later. To start things off, everything takes place after the events of 5 Nights at Freddy's Pizza Sim, an ultimate custom night. And of course the usual routine of Cassidy making William pay for his sins. This is where the story starts off, as Old Man Consequences gives her the same, leave the demon to his demon speech, which she does. OMC has no problem looking over his new prisoner. As the hurt and broken child he has befriended, can find the rest of her friends, and finally be at peace. And everything was peaceful and calm. For 5 years. This is where I began my slow process into making videos, by summoning everyone to view their history. Despite the situation, they seem rather chill about what's happening around them. I guess given the fate dealt to them, this is the least twisted experience thus far. Eventually I finally bring Henry along to react with everyone. Except for Michael. Apparently some unhinged hacker from a nearby furry con tampered with my PC and sent him to the code. I still don't know how that was possible. After showing what became William's fate for those 5 years, I try to send them all home so I may have some time for my team and I to figure out this hacker situation. Come to find out 5 days later. Thanks to this hacker, everyone was sent to the code instead of to the Emilys. On top of all that, this hacker has ended up infecting my PC with some kind of paranormal malware. Then she has the audacity to break into my own home while I am still there. Meanwhile, my team has split up into 2 groups. The boys search the code, while the girls search the reaction studio. Thankfully they were able to make it to my destination in order to handle this hacker. The boys managed to help the children and the Afton brothers deal with William. And whatever went on in the code to begin with. 5 days after that my team and I worked on a welcome video for me to introduce myself to the Gacha 5 Nights at Freddy's community, and what I'm all about. Obviously I knew, given how some YouTubers are, how influential their videos can be to most viewers. I already knew that I probably wouldn't make as much of an impact as the others. And also given how slightly toxic some people in the community are towards the missing children. I knew where I stood on those characters would prove to be looked down upon by some people. Regardless, I still wanted to make the videos I made because of how big of a dream of making animations and entertaining people is to me, and my wish is to getting better at my craft. Besides, if a few people leave some comments talking about how much they despise my content, then so be it. After all, it's just a few spiteful people typing words on a screen. It's not like I'm in any real danger. Right? Another week has passed after the welcome video we made, and I had to continue my progress on rebuilding William so I would have everything I needed up and running for future projects. Meanwhile I had the rest of the cast safely tucked away after having to delete and reboot everything on my PC in order to purge the malware infecting everything. I believe Marcus must have talked to them or something, I can't recall. I believe I was asleep. After giving it some thought, I decided it was about time I truly introduced myself to the cast of characters, let them get to know the kind of person I am. Even got to show them the truth about their reality. I did not think that part through. After having to calm everyone down and explain things properly, I left one of my teammates in charge of the house while I was working on returning Elizabeth to the rest of the cast. It took about 5 days. Once I returned home, Meccano had informed me about the dimension traveling device having some troublesome malfunctions. We of course make the responsible decision of tucking it away until probably fixed. At least that's the most and only important thing I have to worry about.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
Okay, so it would appear that this psycho William fangirl followed the girls all the way back to the house. I caught her in the act of making some weird William harem video. Some kind of bizarre nonsense that I needed to put a stop to. I wasn't about to put up with any more craziness after the last time I was invaded. Especially not when I had a 2,000 subscriber special I needed to work on. Of course it wasn't easy trying to come up with an idea for a video that nobody else had ever done in the past. But with enough time, effort, and thought put into this project, I can confidently say after having to deal with all of that mess, I left my team of creations, Team AL, in charge of things while I took a week off to recharge my brain from the insanity. I even told my team to expect me to return in 2 or 3 weeks, but after a few days or so I was ready to get back creating more content, only to find out what's been going on the past few days. The same incident that brought Gregory to my universe has been going on day after day, bringing back in other characters, even more the very same day I found this all out. At first wondered if this was because of the Anomaly situation. Meccano warned about the possibility of that virus still lingering on, but then I remembered something. A horrible, ridiculous, and flat-out dumb decision I made that could potentially doom us. And from that it didn't take long for me to put 2 and 2 together. With the realization of what's at stake, I knew there's only one option left. And with that, this brings us to the end of the Sage Summary. I hope I managed to clear a few things up about this overarching story. Some of you may be wondering, why? What's the point of having this large lore-driven narrative in a set of videos, where I come just to see characters react to a video, and then move on with my day? There are a few reasons for what I do. Number 1. The whole point of these videos were to originally show of my take on the FNAF characters, personalities and designs. Granted, I know some of you find my character designs, specifically the human characters mostly, to be basic and boring, which is fine to think. But keep in mind I wish to bring in some animations for my videos and I would like to keep things simple enough for hand-drawn animations. I mean really, tell me you can stand trying to animate something like this for multiple frames of animation, repeatedly redrawing every bit of detail. I'd like for things to be easy enough to translate for myself and anyone else to draw. Besides, I make sure there is enough detail on the characters. At least to keep them from looking the same as everyone else's takes on the characters. Or even this. Number 2, I wish to add more enjoyment and entertainment for you, the viewers, whenever you choose to watch my videos, when it comes to the reactions themselves. I tend to take the time to think about how the characters would react to different videos given their personalities and knowledge based on the actual lore, as well as mixing my own reactions to the videos I choose. I always do my best to have it actually feel like the characters are characters, actually having them react to what they are seeing. Even down to the littlest detail of having them blink. And of course talking about what they're seeing rather than just sitting in complete silence, not saying anything with only 1 or 2 frames of an expression. Even trying to have the reactions connected to the ongoing story, just so they actually mean something, and are worth watching. Lastly, I do this because it's fun. Wanting to do and make something that will entertain people has always been a dream of mine, whether it's writing and animating a story, or another form of creating entertainment. I'm just glad that this is something I get to do, and best of all, most of you are actually enjoying my work, which I'm definitely thankful for. And this is all something I hope to improve and get better at in the future. But, of course, only time can tell. We'll see what happens after the Season 2 finale. Season 2 right now is still incomplete, we're only halfway through the story. And I've got some big plans for the next upcoming 10 episodes, especially the finale, but right now, I think I'll call it a day for this video. I've got something to take care of and to work. I'm really curious to see what happens next.